that particular issue?
Your Excellency, there's a program on the plan to do the digitization. First, of course, we were piloting the OB, the occurrence book, so that we're able to keep track of what is going on. But then there's also the broader police modernization program that we are running that includes equipping and also improving the facilities that they have. There's a proposal that the gentleman has on the CCTVs. I think even in the major cities as it is in Nairobi and Mombasa, we already have that going on to help the police man the streets, but also for accountability on the part of the police. Thank you.
Thank you very much. As you have heard, we already have a whole program around, first, the famous OB, occurrence book, where when you arrive at the police station, that is where your report is entered. We want to make sure that that is digital, so that we can, from every place, we can know what is happening where, and reports don't disappear, or pages of the OP don't disappear. So that is, but you have a solid suggestion on making sure that we digitize that phase and deal with the matter of corruption. It is true that there is serious, both impunity, and this is something we must deal with as Kenyans. And you see, it is also important for us to say there are people who actually actively induce policemen with money. I think it is time, even us as Kenyans, we stopped the culture of bribing policemen. Because sometimes policemen cannot resist the offers that are being made and advances on them. So this corruption thing, we must deal with it from all angles. We must make sure that we take action on the police that ask for the money, and Kenyans who give money must also be told they are part of the problem. And I don't know who is going to tell them. We need to tell ourselves as a people to stop that culture. And then you have talked about water. I may not be competent to answer about the water in Kisumu County and the payments and how much it costs. But broadly, what I can tell you is that we have a program on delivering additional water. We just succeeded in delivering additional 140 billion liters of water to Nairobi County, a program that has been on the works for the last almost 8 years. That program has now been delivered. It is also my intention, and yesterday we had a conversation with the county of Kisumu. We have a big dam here called Ruto'S Dam, which is part of the infrastructure we want to use to deliver water that will assist in making sure that we have additional water in this great city and the environs. So the big plan is to supply as much water as possible. That way, when we have enough water, it becomes easy to moderate the costs of water. So on my end, I want to just commit to you that my plan is to increase the water supply, work with the counties, and then we need also to have a conversation with the counties, because now we have a whole concept of public participation where all of us can engage government at all levels on matters that are of concern to citizens. Let me finally speak to Beatrice. And Beatrice has said, what are we going to do about the finance bill? The finance bill is something we must think about as Kenyans, all of us. There were many issues in that finance bill that were very positive for our country. And we are having conversations with different partners. We are having different conversations with different partners. Of course, when we lost the finance bill, we lost close to 340 billion of the money that we would have raised using the finance bill. I now have a new minister, John Mbadi, who is a seasoned accountant and somebody who has clarity on where we want to go. And I have already given him the assignment to look at the best way we can get ourselves out of this. He is working with the Treasury team. They have given me the initial proposal, and I am very confident that we can turn things around once we consolidate our position and then engage the stakeholders in that space and even get ourselves having a conversation with our members of parliament so that we can decide as a country how we move forward. Because the current situation is not tenable. We have to find the resources to deal with the issues. We have roads that many people here agree are stalled. We have water projects that we have to deal with. We have teachers that we have to pay. We have the whole array of requirements of public, including what my sister Yvonne said about matters health that we have to deal with. And all those require resources. So we are going to be innovative on how we are going to look for those resources. And my team at Treasury are working around the clock on it. Now, I am reliably told that we have another 20 minutes of time. So maybe I will take one final round of questions. Maybe that gentleman looks like he has a burning question. Huyo mungwana pale.
Thank you, His Excellency, Mr. President. My name is Olebo, Kalebo Winongar, and I'm a resident of Kisumu and also a politician. And mostly, I'm a sports icon, having played rugby for Kisumu RFC and Kisumu and Ulinzi Football Club. My question is on sports. Kisumu used to be the hotbed of sports. And when we were growing up, we had very, very good sports people here. And since time, it has died. And people have become disillusioned. And because sports is one of the means of employment of our people. During our time when we were in sports, very many people got the opportunity to go abroad and play in Australia, in USA, in all those places, in India. We had hockey, we had volleyball, we had basketball, very brilliant players. Nowadays, it's dying. So I don't know what the government will do to revive sports and give us employment. Another question is about our infrastructure. Indeed, infrastructure, when I talk about infrastructure, I'll talk about roads, I'll talk about water, and I'll talk about electricity. We have here, even in Riyadh here, we don't have roads, we don't have water, we don't have electricity. And even in my home area, Karachuonyo, I don't have a road, I don't have water, I don't have electricity. What are you going to do about that? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Caleb. Let me just deal with Caleb first so that I can move here. Bwana Caleb, on sports, you're right that our sports is not in the place where it should be. What are we doing? The first thing I did last year is that I gave instructions that the sports fund, which had been cannibalized and made to support other things. In fact, the sports fund, only 40% of the money was going to sports. 60% was going to other things. So last year, I changed the policy and I said the sports fund must only support 100% Matters sports. That's number one, in order to raise resources for our sports. Number two, you have said, what are we doing about sports? Now we have resources. And in fact, I was reading today, there was an issue in Parliament where Parliament was concerned about our sports academies. For us to be able to raise the quality of our sports, because it's becoming scientific and it is becoming competitive, we have to have sports infrastructure. And it is the reason why we are now investing in sports academies, so that in every part of Kenya, we have a sports academy where we can do more training, we can have more facilities for us to be able to grow the talent that we have. Kenya is a sporting nation, and we all know that we are a sports giant in the world, actually. In fact, the good news, like in the last Paris situation, we were number one in Africa. So it is true, we have sports talent in Kenya. And that is why, number one, I changed the policy on sports fund. And number two, we are now in the program of developing sports academies for us to be able to grow our sports talent, whether it is in football, whether it is in athletics, whether it is in all the other fields. You have also said correctly that roads, water, electricity. I have some good news for you on Matters electricity. I was in, you say you come from Karachonyo. I was in Homa Bay today, and I have asked the ministry responsible for energy. We have negotiated a good program. Now we have a plan on deploying electricity. In your county, we have 1.56 billion shillings to connect 17,000 people to electricity, households in your county. I hope you become one of them, so that at least we sort out one problem. I will make sure that I will tell your member of parliament to make sure that you are one of them. We have desegregated into every constituency. On matters to do with water, again, my good friend Caleb, I was on the program of water today, again in your county. I was in Oyugis, because in Oyugis we put up a water project there for about 700 million. Today I was there to add them another 200 million so that we can actually deliver water to home states. It is going to happen in Oyugis. It is going to happen in Kendu Bay. I have also a program of 450 million in Homa Bay town, and hopefully I should be able to have a program for Karachonyo. On the roads, again, today I was in Homa Bay. Let me use your county. Is that correct? Homa Bay is your county? Yes. I was in Homa Bay, and we managed to get resources. You remember that road from Kadel to Karabuor to Kanyathiang? That road now we have managed to build it. And your short member of parliament knows what. That short man, he's been on my case. You know, we now have money for it. Again, we have money now to do the Sindo all the way to Sori. We also from the one that comes from Homa Bay to Mbita all the way to through Sindo all the way to Sori. That road, we have agreed that we are also going to complete that road. And also, we have a couple of other roads that were started, they stalled, but we are looking for resources on how to take them forward. So we wouldn't be able to do everything in one go, but at least we have a plan on how to progressively complete some of those roads. Let me take a question from here. Anybody?